In John chapter 6, the Lord Jesus Christ let his apostles know that one of them was a devil. It was like there was a fox in the house. When it comes to quote-unquote kingdom marriages, God-ordained marriages, there's this thing about the counterfeit. But here's an interesting thing. Some people who are calling another person the counterfeit is actually the counterfeit. Yes. Sometimes the one who's calling another a certain name is the actual counterfeit. It is kind of like in Genesis 29, where Leah, she followed her father and ended up deceiving Jacob into a marriage. A week later, Jacob was able to marry the woman he had covenanted with Laban initially to marry, Rachel. You go to Genesis 30, and you see Leah, who had stolen her sister's husband, accusing her sister of stealing her husband. That's a counterfeit move. In 1 Kings 1, Adonijah knew that the Lord had chosen Solomon to become king. What did Adonijah do? Got others to follow him, prop himself up as being king, despite knowing the word of the Lord over Solomon's life. Adonijah was a counterfeit. And one of the worst things is, when Adonijah was unseated, he tried going around and using the back door to unseat Solomon from his rightful position. Adonijah, even though he was there first, he was a counterfeit. You can also back up Genesis 16. Long story short, the Lord promised Abraham a son. Abraham followed Sarah, then named Sarai, to conceive a child with Hagar, her servant. It worked. It resulted in the birth of Ishmael. But then the Lord came along in Genesis 17 and let Abraham know that his promise would be fulfilled to a child his wife Sarah was going to have the following year, and the child's name would be Isaac. He would be the child of promise. And there came a point in Genesis 21 after Isaac's birth that the Lord told Abraham, listen to your wife and put away Hagar and Ishmael. The counterfeits had to go. Because sometimes people get in a position and they get comfortable as if that is where they belong. But they're in fact the counterfeits. Then there's also this. 1 Kings 3. The Lord spoke to Solomon in a dream and let him know he was going to give him wisdom. That wisdom was tested when two women came in King Solomon's court, saying that they were the mother of a child. How could two women give birth to one child, especially back then? See, one was a counterfeit. One was a counterfeit. But the king used godly wisdom to find out who was a counterfeit. Again, both women were proclaimed to be the mother of the child, the biological mother, but one was a liar. One was a counterfeit. And it is sad that when the truth was staring her in the face, she still dug her heels in. And part of this thing about being a counterfeit, there's going to come one who profess that he's the Christ, but he will be the Antichrist. So this stuff about counterfeits. People are making claims about others being illegitimate, about others being unlawful. But the truth is, they are the true counterfeit.